When a new competitor opens a massive 10-chair facility just down the street, the natural reaction for most established orthodontists is a sudden spike of genuine anxiety. We have been conditioned to equate more chairs with more power, more patience, and ultimately more success. But in the world of lean orthodontics, we have to look past the surface at the underlying math. Bigger is not always better. Frequently, it is simply more expensive, more stressful, and significantly less profitable. The core metric you should be obsessing over is not your unit count, but your utilization rate and your overhead per patient ratio. A sprawling facility often carries a disproportionately high fixed cost base, the mortgage, the utilities, and the insurance, that quietly but aggressively erodes the profit margin of every single case you start. Practice leaders must calculate the true economic viability of every square foot before breaking ground. Misjudging the required patient volume leads to catastrophic overhead creep that hampers your long-term reinvestment capabilities. Let's look at the numbers like a strategic business owner, not just a clinician. A single treatment chair in a high-performing, optimized practice can easily see approximately 32 patients in an 8-hour day, assuming a standard 15-minute slot. To keep 10 chairs fully utilized on a standard 4-week interval, your practice would need a staggering 5,000 active cases. In most of our communities, that kind of volume is statistically impossible to maintain for an independent office. For the single doctor owner, attempting to manage a 10-chair operation is a mental and physical marathon that leads directly to professional burnout. Achieving that level of scale requires a specialized, expensive management infrastructure, typically reserved for DSOs, centralized marketing, dedicated HR, and absolute operational standardization. Without it, you are just a doctor drowning in administrative ballast. Consider the compounding impact of just 10% underutilization. In a 10-chair model, that represents an entire chair generating zero revenue while still demanding full rent, maintenance, and capital depreciation costs. A smaller, highly efficient 6-chair model running at 95% capacity will invariably produce a higher net income and drastically reduce the risk associated with fluctuating patient demand or staffing shortages. The strategic advantage lies in maximizing the potential of a focused asset base. Every extra chair requires more than just square footage, it requires a workforce. In today's increasingly difficult labor market, finding a dozen skilled, loyal assistants is one of our greatest hurdles. If you build a practice beyond the capacity of your available talent, you end up with dead space, expensive chairs that generate no revenue while increasing your overhead. Furthermore, expanded physical space necessitates a larger sterile area and more complex inventory management. A lean, optimized practice manages these through process efficiency, utilizing existing staff resources more effectively rather than simply adding headcount. For many of us, the sweet spot is between 4 and 6 fully equipped chairs, allowing for clinical concentration, personal patient relationships, and a healthy return on investment without the extreme pressures of constant recruitment. We also have to address the architecture of the clinic. While the open bay layout was the standard in the 1980s, it no longer aligns with modern patient expectations. Today's patients are highly informed and they value their privacy. The assembly line feel of an open room can feel impersonal and dated. Shifting toward individual or semi-enclosed treatment rooms is an investment in perceived value. It signals respect for confidentiality and elevates your brand from a high-volume center to a premium service provider. Patients who feel respected in a quiet, professional setting are far more likely to accept comprehensive treatment plans. While this requires more organizational rigor and sophisticated scheduling, the increase in the quality of the patient journey is a significant competitive advantage. High-performing orthodontics is not about how many people you can fit in a room, it's about how efficiently and professionally you can treat the patients you have. Sustainable success is measured by consistent profitability and a high level of doctor engagement, not sheer gross revenue achieved through exhausting scale. Define your ideal capacity based on your resources and your quality of life goals. The long-term equity value of a lean, high-quality business is almost always higher. The strategic decision to focus on quality in layout, staffing, and clinical efficiency is the foundation of a robust dental enterprise. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.